Wind and Storms, written by Kira Fried. Introduction. Somewhere on Earth, almost every kind of weather is happening right now. Do you wonder what causes weather? Earth is surrounded by a layer of air. This layer is called the atmosphere. The air may be warm or cold. It may be dry or wet. Different kinds of air mix with each other all the time. This causes wind, clouds, precipitations, and storms. The sun's energy heats Earth and turns into heat. The warm ground heats the air above it. Warm and cool air mix to make weather. Some parts of the Earth get more energy than others. The North and South poles get less heat than Earth's middle. Dark parts get more heat than light parts. Parts of Earth also get more sunlight than others during different seasons. Wind. Wind is air that moves. We can't see it, but we can feel it. We can see how much it moves plants, and other things. Air moves because the ground warms air next to it. Warm air is lighter than cold air, so it rises. The cold air above sinks to the ground because it is heavier. As cold air gets warmer, it started to rise. Then other cold air takes its place. All this heating and cooling of air makes wind. The city of Chicago is a good example of a place where mixing air of different temperatures make wind. Chicago is on a lake. When sun shines, the air above over the land. When it gets warmer, the air over land. The air land gets warmer than air over water. Warm air over the city rises. Cool air over the lake moves toward, and the land reflects the warm air that drops. This causes wind to blow from lake to the land. Larger the temperature difference between the hot and cold air, the stronger the wind. Changes in the weather happen when air of different temperatures meet. Do you ever see the lines on the TV weather map? Those lines show where warm and cold air meet. The line are called fronts. Clouds. Clouds are made up of tiny drops of water and tiny pieces of ice. They are so small and light that they float in the air. To understand clouds, first think about the water. Water can take three forms. What we often think about is the liquid form. Water is also can be solid, called ice, and it can be gas, called water vapor. Earth's water changes form all the time. If the water gets very cold, it freezes and becomes ice. If it gets warm again, the ice melts. Water also changes from a liquid to a gas and back again. When the sun shines on the water, the energy makes some of the water change to water vapor. This water vapor rises in the air. The water vapor cools as it rises. Cool air can't hold as much water vapor as warm air. Some of the water vapor turns back into tiny drops of liquid water. When these drops run to each other, they make bigger drops. When there are enough drops, they form a cloud. Turn the page to see some kinds of clouds. Precipitation. Wind and cold temperatures make the water drops and pieces of ice in clouds bump into each other and group together. When they get too big and heavy to stay in the cloud, they fall to the ground as precipitations. Rain, snow, hail, and sleet are all kinds of precipitations. Precipitation depends on air temperature. If the air between the cloud and the ground is warm, rain will fall. but rain that falls through the cold air can turn it to slush. If the air is very cold in the clouds below it, snow will fall. Hail forms when wind blows ice crystals down and up and inside a cloud over and over. Storms, storm or extreme weather. As you read about storms, think about the air that moves mixes to make them. Thunderstorms are the most common storm. They happen when warm, wet air hits cold, dry air, and the warm, wet air rises fast to make very tall clouds. Inside a thunderstorm cloud, small pieces of ice bump into each other. The movement makes electricity. When the clouds fill up with electricity, lightning happens. Lightning is very hot. It hits the air around it. The hot air moves very fast and makes a strong wave of air. Then the wave reaches your ears. You hear thunder. The worst winter storm is a blizzard. Blizzards have heavy snow and high wind. They can dump a lot of snow in few hours. The snow can bury cars and trucks. It can block roads. The wind from the blizzard and the weight of the snow can knock out power. During warm-up, huge areas of warm, wet air form over the warm spots of the ocean. Cool air moves it to take the place of the rising warm air. The air begins to spin, and a huge storms called hurricanes form. High winds and flooding from hurricanes can cause very bad damage. Tornadoes are another kind of extreme weather. They form when hot air meets very cold air. When this happens, the warm moist air rises very fast. A strong flow of air moves in to take place of the rising warm air. It moves so fast that it starts to spin. This causes a thundercloud to form. Tornadoes only last a short time, but they can cause great damage. Tornadoes can form anywhere in the world, but most tornadoes happen in the United States. This map shows the kinds of air that meet to make tornadoes. Conclusion: scientists know a lot about how kinds of air move and mix together. They have many tools to study with. They use these tools to predict the weather and try to keep people safe. But nature is full of surprise. Still, we can watch for clues and study the many kinds of weather in our world. Con ăn cơm hả? À cái này này, con xin nhé. Dạ ông ạ nhá.
Đây có cái thủy tinh này.
Ý là con ăn cơm con đang lo lên trường.
Không được. Cầm đi. Đây có cái đồ thủy tinh này.
Em muốn cái này của
Nó cũng tốt nha. Nó có mày những cái đây phòng bên này nó gọn hơn. Lấy cái nào? Cái này nó có một cảm giác nó không được. Nó còn khả đấy. Con lấy cái bóng lên tí mà. Bóng lên.
con gọi cái hộp được không mẹ?
Nói mẹ cầm đi đã hay cái con này. Đấy con cứ cho vào cái đấy rồi bà đưa con bọc cái đúng bên ngoài.
Con ăn cả hai luôn.
Ăn thôi.